Our guest today is one who has survived all odds to not only establish the first special effect product line in East Africa. Grace is the epitome of started from the bottom. Welcome to the only show that highlights Kenyan hustlers through their losses, lessons, and wins. This is Tuzidi na Hustle. I'm your host, Martin Kimathi.
My name is Grace Murema. I am a special effects makeup artist. I am the founder of Grisel Special Effects Studio. It entails dealing with makeup that's for movies. This is burns, bruises, aging people, creating beards, like monsters, zombies, vampires, anything that you see in the movies is what we call special effects. I am also the founder of Grisel Effects Studio, which is a school, and that is the first special effects school in Kenya. And we also have our own product line for special effects, which is the only one in East Africa.
Let's go back to high school. When you're going through high school, had you discovered what is it that you wanted to do?
I knew I didn't want to do a corporate job, that was for sure, because it's like a trend in Kenya where after you're done with Form 4, you're either doing IT or you're doing business communication or you're doing something to do with computers or whatever. For me, I just told my mom straight away, like, I don't want to do any corporate job.
That was from after high school? After
high school, yeah. Because, after high school, you're asked, so what do you want to do? I just told I wanted to go to do beauty. I wanted to join the beauty industry. So immediately we did our research on the beauty schools in Kenya. I found one and immediately joined straight after high school.
Now you've gone through college. What happens next?
First job was in Nairobi West. I was working at a beauty salon. I wasn't making much. That's when now I quit and I got my second job at a spa in Lolongo. Specialized in facials and massages especially. The challenges were, especially when it comes to massage, it brought a lot of problems, especially because the spa was in an estate. The wives would complain that their husbands are not coming home. They spend a lot of time at the spa. And then the husbands, men being men, when you do the massage, they want you to do something called a happy ending. So it just got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. So I had to quit my job. I had to take a break and just think about what I wanted to do. Because after that experience, I didn't want to do any more massage. I didn't want to do any more facials, any more pedicures. Like, I didn't want to touch anybody. So that's when I decided to just stick with makeup because I just need brushes. I'm not touching anyone. I'm just playing with my brushes. And that's when I worked for a few companies. And then I met a certain lady where now we started working together. And we will do Nairobi Fashion Week, Kenya Fashion Week. And the last gig that I did with her, working for a certain media company. And working ridiculous hours from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. And I only came to discover at the end of the month that he was being paid 200,000. And she only saw I was being paid 2,000 bob at the end of the month. This is not after day rate. This is at the end of the month, like after 31 days, you paid 2,000 bob. The reason why I was really excited with the whole job at the media station was it also helped me prove people wrong. Because of, again, what I said, people thought the beauty industry to be. It's deemed to be for failures, for people who didn't do well in school, for house helps, the ones who usually go and do the beauty course. So I just decided to take a break, not think about work, not think about anything. So it was 3 months of just bumming, and I would watch movies, I would be on the internet. So there's a certain series that I was watching called Grey's Anatomy, and I got really fascinated on how some of those effects were made, like the wounds and the cuts, because you can see this person doesn't have a leg or one eye is not there, but we know it's a movie, it's fake. But how exactly are they doing that? Because we'll say it's camera tricks, but in the way that's what we'll say, camera tricks. So I just really got really fascinated. So at that point, I started asking myself, like, I need to figure out what will separate me from the rest. What else can I add on to the makeup? So I started doing my research on this camera trick thing that I used to see on Dexter and Grey's Anatomy. Later on, I came to know that it's called special effects makeup. So I started looking for schools in Kenya that were offering that. There's no school in Kenya. East Africa, there's no school in East Africa. So my best next option was either the States or in South Africa. But then now when I look at I was looking at the fee structure, the States was way over budget. So I decided to go with South Africa. So I have a friend of mine who were in beauty school together. It's a guy. He moved to South Africa. So I called him and asked him to just do a bit of research for me if there are any schools in South Africa that offer special effects classes. So he came back with a list. I did my own personal research on the schools, and then I finally settled on a school. So now the headache was now convincing my mother why she should spend this much money for me to go and study something that we're not sure will bring me money or not. But I did it anyway. So at the end of it, they were sold, and by day it was her and her then husband, and they agreed to pay for my school fees.
Which year was this?
November of 2013. Then 2014 March is when now I left.
Tell us your experiences in SA. You've already enrolled in school, and what were the challenges? How did you get by?
The experience in South Africa was not good or bad. It was 50-50. I faced a lot of xenophobic attacks from fellow Black South Africans. There's a student who told me this one time, "Go back to your country, you black monkey." And this is a Black person telling me that. So me, I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, but you're also Black, so how am I the monkey? So I remember this one time, back in 2015, there was some xenophobic attacks going on in South Africa. We couldn't leave our area for at least 3 months if you're a foreigner, because what they will do, they call them matatus taxis. So they will stop the taxis and they literally start asking everyone to speak in either Pedi or Venda. So they didn't say Zulu because most foreigners know Zulu. So they'll tell you to say what an elbow is. So if they find out you're not, you're removed from the taxi, go get some beatings or killed even. But the situation was controlled. I was able to finish my course, did my exams, but then I had to come back and do my international exams after 3 months. So because I was there on a student visa, I was not allowed to work. So I had to come back to Kenya and then go back and do my exams. So during the 3-month waiting period, I was in contact with my lecturer. He was supposed to submit my name to the International Exam Council so that when they come, it's just quick situation. But then there was a deadline. So if you don't submit your name on a certain date, then that's it. You can't submit it. You can't do your exams. So I got to South Africa to do my exams. But then 2 days to the exams, I decided, and I just had a feeling because no one was saying anything to me. There was no email, no phone calls, no messages, no communication about the exams. So I decided to go to school to just find out if everything was okay. And then I get there, my name is not on the list. My lecturer was the one who's supposed to be responsible to give my name, but he didn't do that. I tried talking to the school, plead with them, because it was just a lot of money that was spent that was just going to waste.
Did you know why the lecturer didn't submit your name?
He's been making advances at me for the whole time I was there. But then I wasn't budging and I was not giving what he wanted. So I think that was a way for him to get back at me. And there was no remorse at all. For him, it was like, well, it happened. So now, literally that was his reaction. Like, so now what do we do? It's already happened. So they told me the only option they had was I go back after 2 years.
I start all over again.
Actually you have to take the whole course again, then do the international exams. You're not just going back to do the international exams. So you have to pay for the whole course, then do the exams. And then I just decided to just let it go. Because that was my ticket to Hollywood. Because for you to get jobs in Hollywood, you need to have that certification. And since I don't have that, I only have now my certificate from now the 1 year course that I did. That really can't do much for me.
Previously on Tuzidi na Hustle.
So I decided to go to school to just find out if everything was okay. And then I get there, my name is not on the list. My lecturer was the one who's supposed to be responsible to give my name, but he didn't do that. I tried talking to the school, plead with them, because it was just a lot of money that was spent that was just going to waste.
Did you know why the lecturer didn't submit your name?
He's been making advances at me for the whole time I was there, but then I wasn't budging and I was not giving what he wanted. So I think that was a way for him to. I came back with no degree. So once again, I am in this space where I don't know what to do. So the first thing I felt I had to do was because I was working as a freelancer. So I wanted to be a company because I feel like people take you more seriously if you're a company. Then my very first job was 48-hour film project. I got a DM from a certain lady who had seen my work, because when I was in school I used to post pictures. She DM'd me, told me about the project, told me of course it's not paying, and for me at that time I really didn't care because that was my first experience out of school as a special effects artist, so it was giving me exposure. At that time I was still trying to figure out how much special effects artists need to be paid in Kenya, because if you look at how much they're paid in the States,
Give us a range.
I know.
In Kenya.
Because in the States they're paid per hour, and per hour they're paid around 25,000. So if you're doing something for the whole week, how much money is that going to be? But then you can't bring those rates in Kenya because people will look at you like you're crazy. So I didn't know how much I was supposed to charge people, and my products, I wasn't getting my products from here because they're not locally available. So I have to ship them in, and then that's another expense. So it took me some time to just figure out how much I was worth being paid. And the day I knew how much I am worth, I got a job in Uganda. We were shooting a movie for the First Family. It was based on what happened in the 1980s with Museveni.
What was the name of the movie?
27 Guns. As we were discussing how much I'm supposed to be paid, I had to call my friend first and ask her, how much is it do you think I should charge? Because I really don't know, because you're going from being paid 2,000 to now you're supposed to quote how much you're supposed to be paid. Like I decide how much I'm supposed to be paid. So my friend is like, you ask for 300, ask for 300. When he's like, in fact, ask for 400 and then tell them to pay for your flight and your accommodation. And I was like, what? Like people do that. So for me, I wasn't sure if I'm asking for too much, but then I just did it anyway. And they said, fine. Like they're okay. So when can you come? Because we need you here by Monday. And this is on Saturday we are talking. I was actually taken aback because I was shocked. I'm like, wait, I was joking. I wasn't serious. I didn't know like they'll actually accept. But yeah, they sent me contracts, signed the contract, and that's how I ended up in Uganda. So from there, I started quoting not ridiculous prices, but I will just sit down and look at how much I'm spending in terms of the products, the amount of time, because I just don't charge for the products. I'm charging for my time and for my experience as well. And I know I am good at my job, so I will not waste your time, I will not waste your money. So that helped me know how much I need to be charging in terms of special effects.
What is the biggest project you've done so far?
BlackPanther.
Wow. Wakanda Forever?
Forever.
And were you paid?
No.
Hold on. You were not paid for BlackPanther?
We were not paid, but for me it was fine because BlackPanther, it was exposure for me because I feel like it's opened also other opportunities.
You've told us movies have a different rate as compared to TV series. How many movies have you done in Kenya?
I've done 2 movies in Kenya, Disconnect and 46, it's yet to be released. I've done series. There's Ngema, Akisifiwa. I did the pilot for Maria and a couple of ads. They don't come often.
So they're not consistent?
They're not consistent, yeah.
And how do you manage to stay afloat without getting consistent jobs, as you say?
The good thing is they pay me well. But then I decided to start teaching because number one, sometimes jobs on set can get overwhelming. I don't have any help. So I need an assistant, and an assistant has to be someone that I have trained. So I just decided, let me share this knowledge that I have and just start training people. So that's when I decided to open my school, and it's 25,000 for a month. So at the end of it all, you're getting a certificate. So you're not just walking away with skills, at least you'll have something to show. Luckily for everyone, I have started my own products line for special effects. I make my own blood. We have silicone, which is used in terms of sculpting. So after sculpting, that's what you pour into the sculpts to get now your mold. We have gelatin, which is also used for sculpting. I know most people don't understand what I'm saying.
Including me.
Sculpting is, for example, you're making a monster or a zombie, for example. You have to change some features of the face. You have to have exposed teeth. Maybe one eye is out. Your nose has to be blurred out. So you have to use clay and this beautiful thing here called a life cast. So that's where you mold it and pour in the silicone. So you come up with now a prosthetic piece that you stick onto the skin. Then that's how we're able to alter your facial features.
Tell us the future for Grisel FX Studios.
I want to expand on my product line and have a bit more range in terms of the product. And I want to also expand on the school. So, because right now, especially because of the COVID situation, I'm only taking 4 students per month. But then in the long run, I'm hoping to have at least 15, 20, and hopefully have a warehouse where I can build my monsters and my zombies. Yeah. And
we are talking about money, and if you know the drill, Unsecure the Bag is where I get hands-on, is where I step into the shoes of the people I've been interviewing. This time round, it's all about special effects. Grace here will take me through it, and she will rate me and credit me. Hope you guys can do the same at home. Remember the hashtag Tuzidi na hustle.
So what I'm going to do to you is I will age you at least 20 years older.
I'm 30 now, so that's 50. I look like I'm 50.
Yes. And I would like you to repeat what I've done. So I'll just do half on your face, and then you'll repeat exactly what I've done on the other side. And then from that now I'll see how much I'm going to pay you. If it's exposure, 500, 20,000, we'll see. Depending on what you
Yeah, man, I feel like I'm getting old on one side.
So
Should go to Guinness Book. Only age on one side, and then after 20 years, this other side will start aging. But anyway, so far so good. I'm really appreciating the process. I'm appreciating anybody who's in this profession, special effects.
So the last thing we'll do is age his teeth.
Teeth.
Yes.
Teeth also age.
On the cake. Yes. So that's it. And then we have our old 50-year-old man.
Basically, what I'm gonna do, Grace, how do we start? We start with the nose.
Start with the nose.
The nose, yeah. So this is the foundation for the nose.
That is the kitchen sponge, the
What
powder.
The powder.
It's the sponge that you use to.
So you dip it a little bit?
Nope. You dip it in the wrong thing. See, these are people who are failing in school.
Where? I've already
Latex.
started. Okay, so do I have to use another one?
No, just
I'll
flip
maintain
it
this
the
one.
other side.
I'll flip the other side.
Yeah.
So we start with the latex first.
Very little.
Very little.
Then now you can, don't swipe on your nose. I feel like the biggest challenge you have is following instructions.
I am following instructions.
Yeah.
I'm afraid for the latex to really come in touch with my hair.
You will literally be the last student in class.
Honestly.
You will not even go home with a certificate.
Why?
Because you're that bad.
Jesus. You don't even care about my feelings, eh?
For applying
How many years,
powder.
Jobo, there's no feelings.
So as you can see, we are done. There's a huge difference. Out of 10, I will give you 1 for effort. I will pay you in exposure. I feel like that's enough. No fair, sort yourself out because of this work. Yeah, how do you feel you've done?
Actually, first of all, this was really challenging. And hey, I did what I had to do, but this is the outcome. This is the outcome, but I can always do better, and that's the beauty about Secure the Bag. It's just getting into a position where you challenge yourself and you do something new, something different, and you are the pro, so you are the one to stand and tell me how I've done. And hey, you never know, maybe I'll perfect my skill. Our guest today took the path less traveled and powered through to carve out a name for herself in the industry. She has shown that knowing your worth and being exceptional at mastering your craft is key to truly getting what you deserve. This has been Tuzidi na Hustle. Until next week, I've been your host, Martin Kimathi. God bless.